All right, so I've got one more question for now, and then I've got to go get grinding. Is it Joe Federman? I said it before, but Survive Knives has had the worst luck in the entire knife making industry. If it were my business, which it's not, I would make it my #1 priority catching up on old orders and not constantly reinventing everything, as well as constantly creating new models of knives. Oh well, what do I know? I do wish this company well, as I would like them to succeed, but I just don't understand the path they're using to get there. So when I started this, it all seemed very easy. Digging around the forums, I realized topically, a lot of people oversimplify everything. So jumping into this, I was highly confident with less information. And as I gain more and more information down this journey, your confidence decreases because there's a lot of realities in here. If you come into our shop and ask anybody anything that's going on, there's a million little steps that people don't think about that create the difference between what you're seeing in Cabela's and what we're doing here. It's just a lot of little steps. But as far as catching up on things, we are. I need to keep the rent paid though. I need to keep these machines busy. While I'm doing some of these other things, we have a lot of capacity in here that I don't think people understand. We can do several things at one time at different stages that don't affect another stage of production. There's a lot of capability in here. So if I say I'm working on something, Matt might be working on something else, Mike might be working on something else, Josh might be working on something else, Ellie's working on something else. So we're all working on different stages of things where we're comfortable, and as people learn, they are gonna learn more to be able to bite off more of these steps so that less is relying on me. But these guys are learning a lot and bringing a lot of value in here. So as far as the constantly reinventing, I've been working with other people up until 2 years ago. This has been very much a learning journey, and I've watched the struggles of these other companies as well. That's changed my model along the way. When I look at, one person's model might dictate one thing where they have a limitation, and then I have to redirect once I understand what that is. And once I have all the information, I can make better decisions. I'm always learning in here, but through a third party, we did prototypes through Bark River. I've worked with White River Knives in the past, Lamson and Good now, a now defunct company that went out of business. I think they got bought up by somebody else. I've worked with another guy up in Michigan, great guy up there, Precision Plus. That just didn't work out because I was in a weird part of my journey, and now I don't think I'm willing to move to Michigan to let him do this. But great guy up there at Precision Plus. We've done contract grinding with Larkin Precision in the past. I learned a lot about what Berger and Seatman grinders are capable of, to understand what those standards are, what I can expect from that consistently. And that's, he's got his own company, Bradford Knives. And he has his own standards and things. And I think that in the last 10 years, we've all learned a lot. And I can see that in his subcontract work, he's improved by being receptive to idiots like me in the feedback, so that they're continuing to push in what they're doing. But the constant redirects are because I've learned something, or I've run into some sort of struggle with somebody I'm working with that I'm trying to overcome. With having all these models, it was my understanding when I moved to Boise that Millet Knives was going to take over our manufacturing. You even hear Shane talk about that later, that he thought in his eyes, in his little partnership, that we were the perfect customer. So we moved down there expecting we would bring design, finishing, some of these things to the table and help grow their OEM sector so that we could have ongoing repeat production of all of this stuff to serve you better. Our standards were a little bit different, and they had a lot of projects in the fire. And even after trying to help for years at that, I realized that wasn't going to work. And in that time, I was trying to provide value to help them out. So we were creating new models to show them that in our design wheelhouse, we have a lot of capability, things that we could bring to the table. Since that hasn't worked out, it's our responsibility now to finish up those promises, and you will be seeing us drawing our focus back down, because we need to have this balance with what our capabilities are with what we have right now in personnel and equipment. So as we are paying off our restitution here from this last chapter, you're going to see I'm going to fulfill those orders, but a lot of these things are going to be sunset for now in favor of things that I know are popular, that we can make effectively, that are going to pave the way to more aggressive growth here, so that we can continue to invest in the things without me taking on predatory lending. You know, there's a lot of stuff that we got by on very high interest lending, and that's where I prefer pre-ordering. If you can believe in my ability to deliver it, there may be a delay, but I can work that off. But when you have, in this country, with these small businesses, there's a whole financial sector that lives off of us and are wanting to grow our business, and it is expensive and the terms are terrible. In my ideal world, we should have better programs for small businesses to have these things happen, where there are some unknowns, and in startups like this, there's usually a planned time where the business is losing money to get things worked out and run in. I don't have that investment available to me, and the predatory lending schemes are too expensive and scary to continue trying to pave growth that way. We do have enough business credit now that we do have good interest rates for equipment lending and things like that, but as far as cash flow, it's too expensive to try and grow that way. They know we're going to work our asses off to fight for what we got, and the interest rates and the terms reflect that. It really works out for bankers and these predatory lenders, but not so well for small businesses. And I can see that's where a lot of these places are getting eaten up right now, because you get upside down and you can't get out of it. Thankfully, we've been able to just knuckle down and get through it. So we're getting new materials in here that I know I can believe in. And as we're working through the last of these things, we are going to be narrowing our focus and then building capability as it makes sense. So I hope that answered your question. I probably over-answered it, but my brain do what it do. So yeah, I guess, you have any?
I thought of something.
Let's do it.
For the first part of it about, it's not just keeping the machines busy, but it's also about having that next model ready to go.
Yeah, so there aren't the big delays between things.
Yeah, if we just turn off production and we aren't doing that perimeter machining step because we're focusing on other things, well then when it is that first run is done, then we've got to get everything ramped up again to get the next run of knives running through, and then that's delayed even further.
We're trying to do as many things concurrently instead of consecutively. And that's, I said that right? Yeah, concurrent along with. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just waking up. So as far as that, I hope that answers your question. You know, we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline here because we have this capacity, and now that we've recovered from what occurred, I can show you we were really far along with a lot of these projects. We just had to drop them like they're hot because we knew our move was coming up, and we didn't have the ability to do anything during the move, and we knew there was going to be some downtime. So I had to jump off these other projects that I very much want to get completed to recover some of that loss so that we could still move and set back up here and have a functional business on the other end. So now that we're established, we've got finally the roof, we almost have a front door over here. It's all, I'm just going to be real with you from now on. This is all small business stuff. This isn't abnormal. It's just nobody talks about it. And we have this really skewed sort of perception of things that it all goes right or it's terrible. And that's not true. When you're pushing the envelope, there's always growing pains. And due to the growth that we've had and the way that we've come into being a manufacturer, some of that grew a little bit out of control, but we're getting it back under control. I was beholden on other people for too long. We didn't believe in ourselves, but I've got that confidence now. We have that breadth of experience with who we have. I've learned a lot. Mike brings a lot of experience to the table. Ellie brings a lot of experience to the table, and we're making something nice here, and you're about to see that.